Hey there, I'm Ken, this is CRT, and welcome. Welcome to this episode about another computer that I have added to my retro computer collection. A little bit of a backstory before we start taking a look at this computer. The very first computer I owned when I was a child was a TRS-80 Color Computer 2. That was in the early 1980s. Now, a little while back, I managed to get a hold of one of those again, and I was very, very happy because that was the very first computer I ever owned. If you haven't seen that video, you can check it out up here. Later in the 80s, I got another computer, and that computer was an Apple II GS. Well, can you guess what I just managed to pick up? Yep, I got an Apple II GS right behind me. And yeah, one finally came into my price range, so I picked it up. Now I just have to find out if it works. And here is the Apple II GS that I just picked up. It is not in its box because I do not have the self-control to have waited to get home and unpack it. I received this while I was at work, and I opened it up right away to take a look. Now, unfortunately, when I did open it up, there's a little bit of a rattling around inside the case, and there's a few little broken plastic pieces here, standoffs and stuff. So that needs repairing. They're just things, the cosmetic things inside that hold the case shut and everything. Otherwise, it doesn't seem to be any problems. Here is the interior. And as you can see, a little bit dirty. Got a flashlight here to put some light on things, but really, it looks quite good in there. There is a internal battery underneath the power supply here. I had a look under the power supply, and I couldn't see anything that could possibly be wrong there, other than I doubt that battery still works. There's no leakage or anything around it. The battery's not bulged or anything. I will be taking that out when I take this computer apart to clean it, but for now, I want to try it out and see what happens. Yeah, the only thing I'm actually a little worried about is, of course, the power pack here. What's going to happen to it when I plug it in? Might there be magic smoke? I don't know, but we'll find out in a few minutes when I plug it in. Otherwise, everything inside here looks good. No expansion cards, but yeah, this is a base model Apple II GS. Okay, I have the Apple II GS plugged into the power bar. I currently have the power turned on. Now we are going to give it power and see if the light comes on or whether the something else happens, maybe some smoke or something. So, here goes. Well, we got a binging sound. That's a good sign, I guess. No power light, though. Turn it off. Turn it back on. All right, well, it didn't explode, so that's a plus, definite plus. And now I have added an Apple compatible disk drive to see if when I turn the power on, it spins up the disk drive or not. And it does. I think this means it's time to find a monitor to see if I can get that working. Alright, so now we have a CRT hooked up here to the composite out. See what we're getting. Check startup device. Awesome. Okay, so now we'll put in a disk and see what happens. Okay, it's not booting off the disk. Try DOS 3.3. So what happens if I try and put the other disk back in and do a catalog on it? Yeah, see, now it runs it. There we go. It's very faint, but my logo. And it is running fast compared to the Apple IIc. I guess that's because the Apple IIgs is a lot faster. I have moved my Apple IIgs over to hook it up to my main computer so I can directly capture the output of it. And I have also hooked up my floppy EMU. So let's get testing this. There we go. It's booting up, and it is booting into Karateka. There we go. And it's loading. Oh, and if you can hear that, you can hear that it is playing really fast. Because, of course, the Apple IIgs runs a lot faster than the other computers, the other Apple II computers. So what you want to do is hit Control, Open Apple, Escape, which takes you into this nice little menu, and you've got your control panel where you can put your system speed and turn it down. Now you notice the clock is wrong on there because, of course, the battery in this thing has long since died. So I'm going to be removing that battery and hopefully hooking up a new one sometime soon. But you can also turn down your sound a little bit. It's the only way that I know of to control the sound on your Apple IIgs is in the control panel. And you can also see other things like the fact here that right now we are using 84K of RAM and we have 171K free, so this particular computer is 256K. All right, well, back into Karateka, and there. Now you can see it's running its normal speed. Actually, it wasn't that bad at the fast speed. All right, well, we can see that this computer works fine with the floppy EMU, which makes me happy. So happy I just jumped off a cliff. There we go. I now have a working Apple IIgs. Granted, it needs a little bit of repairs on the case. It's a little dirty, needs to be cleaned up, and yeah, it needs that new internal battery. But other than that, the thing is working fine. It works great with the floppy EMU. Yeah, I couldn't be happier that I now have both my childhood computers. One thing I want to do is build a little place of honor for it so that it is set up and ready to be played at any point. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching me relive my childhood with this computer. If you did, you know what you can do. There's liking, subscribing, and commenting below. Anything and everything you do is always greatly appreciated. But yeah, I got lots of Apple II computer games to go and play. So I will see you next time.